Hey Frank, Joe Chats on Tap
Hey,
Sportsnet.
Joe.
Curious, after that kind of performance, what would you say was the issue for your team? Was it a performance issue? Was it an effort issue? Was it the issues of overcoming the injuries?
I think all. It's a difficult one, huh? Because I think there's a lot of emotions now after the match. So for me, it's always I don't want to say anything. I'd like to see the game a couple more times, but obviously, before the game, I'm not gonna. It's not about excuses, injuries, this or that, but I think right before the situation with Guti, with his hamstring, he felt something, he couldn't go, and then Shaq coming up early after the first goal. Then I think that disrupted a little bit our rhythm, but then I think the goals we gave up, I think all preventable goals, simple given goals, especially in the first one, tracking runners, and so yeah, it's just from one bad thing to the other, and just seemed we could never get a grasp of the game, or when we had chances. Chances when we got in certain moments. Even when we pushed the game with the second forward and third forward, we really didn't get really any really crystal clear chances. So it just snowballed from there. I think we have to reflect, review the game, but I think it's one that how quickly can we put it behind us and regroup. The bad thing about it is that we had four guys that went out today. That's a tough one. With Guti, Shaq, and then Fede with his knee, gotta have fingers, and then you put Gaston, then he did his hamstring coming in. So it's a difficult one. We didn't want to risk Andrew in a game like this. I mean, he trained last week, but in and out of exercises, not a full week, so it wasn't a game that we needed to risk anything when it got out of hand.
We'll go Jim, then Tim. Oh, wait.
Hey, Coach, Jim Alexander with Real Talker. The thing about today's game, it was sloppy and it was silly mistakes. Like, I know you don't coach not to mark the team's one of the league's top scorers in the box. And the pass back where he got intercepted to the goalie, these are just really avoidable mistakes. Does that concern you more that these mistakes could have all been avoided in a sense that these are such simple, basic kind of concepts that you coach, I'm sure, all the time, just the simple things that weren't done well?
Yeah, just sometimes, when things are not going well, I think you're forcing things, and I think the guys, I think, tried to do the right things, and then I just think we weren't sharp. You're right with our passes. You could say maybe a lot of simple passes, but then I think when two guys come out the way we wanted to play it with the game plan with Guti and Shaq, and then those guys come out, I think we really didn't have. I think our ability to progress the ball and stuff like that. You take two guys, key guys with qualities when we break lines and stuff like that, and I think that disrupted things. And then, yeah, we weren't sharp with our passes. We weren't that's for sure. It was one of those nights. I think that we have to look, we have to try to learn from it, and all of us. But there's not much you can say. There's not much you can say. I think it's for all of us to go and think about the performance and try to put it behind us and regroup. But like I said, for me, besides the deficit, I haven't been in a game like this ever with a fired team. The sad thing is that we're really shorthanded right now. That's a tough one.
So you talked about it like getting this one night behind us, but this is now 3 games out of the past 4 where the Fire have been unable to score. Do you feel like there's increasing pressure on you to get results, especially with the team having this homestand?
In the last 2 games, we have 4 points. Besides tonight, we had a win at home, and then you're on the road, and we got a point. So for me, this was a big game. We knew it to start the homestand in a positive way. There's always pressure to win games, of course. There's no doubt about it. But we had 4 points going into this game from 2 matches, one being away. But there's a difficult ones when you don't get points, obviously, at home. You wanted to start the homestand in the right way. So for me, pressure, every time we go on the field, we want to win. So I don't think about pressure in that way. I try to prepare the team the best that we can throughout the week to give the guys confidence and go out. So I don't know pressure. I don't feel pressure. I want to win every game. That's pressure. I mean, but no.
Hi, Coach. Kirill Anastasov, Extra Time Talk. You talked about the injuries, obviously far too early to assess exactly how serious they are, but do they look like simple knocks or perhaps
No,
maybe...
I think they're all muscle injuries, and then the only big question is with Fede, because with his knee, he stepped in, I think, wrong, and then he got a hit, and so that's always the big question mark and the scary one to assess. The other ones they're muscle tissues, so hamstrings, calves. I don't know. It's hard to really tell you how long those will be. But I think it's always the scary ones with guys like with Fede with his knee.
With so many midfielders out disproportionately compared to other injuries in the team, it seems midfielders are specifically vulnerable at the moment. Could you be prompted into a tactical change, a formation change in the near future to facilitate perhaps the lack of midfielders in the squad?
Yeah, we
right
just
now?
have to see what we have, and then make the best decisions. Formation really doesn't. It's not about formation, anything. It's just about principles and ideas. It doesn't really change the team that we want to be with the ball, without the ball. It's just about principles. Who we want to be with the ball. So it doesn't really matter what formation you put. It's the same concept and ideas that we want, when we have the ball. So, but I think we have to assess and see. I would see big question mark with any of those guys being available for the next game. That's just the reality, and hopefully it's not something long term, because we're really thin at the moment.
Thank you, Coach.
That's it. Okay, guys. Thank you.